Announcement of the whole of the Hungarian uprising. It was broadcasting at 5:35 a.m. by Radio Free Kossuth, Budapest, on November 4th, 1956. The speaker is Prime Minister Imre Nagy. It was repeated immediately afterwards in English, French, Russian, and German. I won't read the text to you because I think you'll be able to follow the English translation which follows immediately after Prime Minister Nagy, or Nagy, as he is called by the Hungarians.
Nagy úrra, a minisztertanács elnöke szól a magyar népnek.
A szovjet őrnagy azonban nem volt hajlandó figyelembe venni útleveleiket és egyéb irataikat.
Itt Nagy Imre beszél, a Magyar Népköztársaság minisztertanácsának elnöke. Ma hajnalban a szovjet csapatok támadást indítottak fővárosunk ellen, azzal a nyilvánvaló szándékkal, hogy megdöntsék a törvényes magyar demokratikus kormányt. Csapataink harcban állnak. A kormány a helyén van. Ezt közlöm az ország népével és a világ közvéleményével.
Has just been on the air and
I forgot to add, Mac, in that preceding recording, the background noise voices which you heard were from the Voice of America Hungarian service, and that, of course, at the conclusion of the English translation of Prime Minister Nagy's announcement, you heard a portion of the Hungarian national anthem. Here is another English language broadcast from Radio Free Kossuth and Pitofi, November 4th, 1956, the day the Russians attacked, 07:57 hours. It might be a little hard to follow, so I will give you the transcript of it as I have it before me. This is the Association of Hungarian Writers speaking. To all writers, scientists, and all writers' associations, academies, scientific unions of the world, we turn to the leaders of intellectual life in all countries. Our time is limited. You all know the facts. There is no need to expand on them. Help Hungary. Help the Hungarian writers, scientists, workers, peasants, and intelligentsia. Help, help, help.
this is the Association of Hungarian Writers speaking. To all writers, scientists, all writers associations, academies, scientific unions of the world, we turn to the leaders of intellectual life in all countries. Our time is limited. You all know the facts. No need to expand on them. Help Hungary. Help the Hungarian writers, scientists, workers, peasants, and intelligentsia. Help, help, help.
Here is a broadcast from Radio Budapest, Kossuth, same day, 07:14 hours. It is the voice of a Soviet officer who changed over to the side of the uprisings. Attention, attention, this is Budapest, Radio Free Kossuth. Attention, attention, this is Budapest, Radio Free Kossuth. The Hungarian government asked the Russian soldiers, officers, and commanders not to fire upon the civilian population. The Russian people are our friends, and they will remain so. I might add a footnote here, Max, that 54 minutes after this broadcast was made, Radio Free Kossuth, Budapest, ceased broadcasting in the middle of an announcement. They have not been heard since. At 2300 hours, the Kádár regime, that's the present regime, began broadcasting from its Zolnok studios in eastern Hungary. But this is one of the last broadcasts to come from Free Radio Kossuth, Budapest.
Szabad Kossuth Rádió Budapest és Szabad Petőfi Rádió Győr. Внимание, внимание. Говорит Будапешт. Станция Свободный Косsuth. Внимание, внимание. Говорит Будапешт. Станция Свободный Косsuth. Венгерское правительство просит советских солдат и офицеров, командиров, не стреляйте в мирное население. Русский народ, наши друзья, и такими останутся.
Here is a broadcast which came from the last transmitter to operate in Hungary, in Free Hungary, that is, Radio Dunapenteli, later Rakoczy Radio. Stationed as it was in a bus It broadcast shortwave and was the only source of news from Hungary for several days. The broadcast says this is the free radio of the Dunapenteli National Committee, broadcasting on the 36-meter shortwave band. Appeal, workers of Dunapenteli, brother Hungarians. In this critical hour, we make a historical declaration. Trampling on the Warsaw Pact, the Russian hordes have launched a perfidious attack against Budapest and several other cities in the country. The battle is on in Pécs, Székesfehérvár, Dunafaldova, and Veszprém. Hungarian soldiers are fighting as one man against the invaders. Immediately following this broadcast is another at 13:35 hours in English, identifying itself as the last remaining station in Hungary. I might add that this broadcast was subject to very, very heavy jamming from a jamming station probably in Czechoslovakia.
A Dunapentelei Nemzeti Bizottság szabad rádiója a 36 méteres rövidhullámon. Felhívás! Dunapentele dolgozó népe, vérei, magyarok, ezekben a kritikus órákban történelmi bejelentést teszünk. Az orosz hordák a Varsói Szerződést lábbal tiporva, hiszegő módon megtámadták Budapestet és több más vidéki városunkat. Áll a harc Pécset, Székesfehérváron, Dunaföldváron, Veszprémben. A Magyar Honvédség egy ember hadseregnek
This is Hungary calling. This is Hungary calling. The last remaining station. Call to the United Nations. Early this morning, the Soviet troops launched a general attack on Hungary. We are requesting you to send us immediate aid in the form of parachute troops over the Transdanubian provinces. It is possible that our broadcast will soon come to the same fate as the other Hungarian broadcasting stations. In this case, we request you to continue our call for aid to your broadcast. For the sake of God and freedom, help Hungary!
From the same station at approximately 14:10 hours came this broadcast. We request immediate information as to whether help is arriving from the West. Attention, attention, Radio Free Europe, attention. This is the Free Hungarian Broadcasting Station. Attention, attention. This is the Free Sokonai Broadcasting Station.
Figyelem, figyelem! Szabad Európa, figyelem! Azonnal kérjük értesítést, hogy nyugatról segítség érkezik el. Figyelem, figyelem! Szabad Európa, figyelem! Azonnal kérjük értesítést, hogy nyugatról segítség érkezik el. Figyelem, figyelem! Itt a szabad magyar adóbeszéd. Figyelem, figyelem! Itt a szabad magyar csokonai adóbeszéd.
This next broadcast, which came from Radio Rakoczy, is probably one of the most dramatic to come out of the Hungarian uprising. The information I'm giving you now I obtained from the Voice of America in one of their broadcasts, but this is the last broadcast from this station. It was made in English during extremely heavy jamming, also poor atmospheric conditions, and in the middle of a sentence the station was blown off the air. And you can hear the gunfire right at the conclusion, and in the end the gunfire drowns the announcer's voice and the station completely is blown right out of action. It is in English, but you will have to listen carefully to follow. The announcer is reading portion of the Gettysburg Address of Abraham Lincoln.
Of liberty. The Hungarian people have this is the portal Gettysburg speech. Abraham Lincoln declared the following. 407 years ago, our fathers brought forth upon this continent a new nation, conceived their liberty, and is dedicated to the proposition that all men are created equal. We are now engaged in a great civil war, testing whether that nation or any nation is so dedicated
has all endured. The people of the United States, these words, more than ever, are new today. We are now fighting for these important principles, but not in the Civil War. We are fighting for freedom against violence and oppression. We are fighting for you too. This is not the time for diplomats to argue over titles. This is the time for action. Freedom or slavery? That is the question.